Okay, so in this instance, my bottom gloves are contaminated. Okay, we're going to say that this is some sort of contamination that is not sterile. So fecal matter, I touched something that was outside of the field, something like that. Okay, so I cannot grab these myself because this is my bottom glove. So I'm going to have to ask my circulator, can you please take off my bottom gloves? They're going to pinch at the palm and the back of hand and pull that off. Okay, so what I cannot do is put my hands back into the gown and glove like I did when I initially gowned. Because my hands have already gone through that semi-permeable cuff, so this is not considered sterile anymore. Okay, I cannot have my circulator pop up onto a sterile field because what's going to happen? Can you pop up that paper onto the sterile field? Just close it. Because what's going to happen is if she pops sterile gloves onto this field, my unsterile hands need to open it up. Now I've touched the back of this, and now it's going onto my sterile field. Does that make sense? So we're going to have to ask our circulator, can you please open up a pair of gloves for me on an unsterile field? And you're going to open glove this way. And so I have marked on these gloves, this red area is what's going to become unsterile because it's going to be up against my semi-permeable cuff that my hands have gone through. So I can take my unsterile hand and touch this unsterile portion of the cuff. Okay, I'm not going to drag the fingers along the edge because we have that 1-inch border. I'm going to go ahead and lift up and move away from here. I'm going to go ahead and put my fingers into here. I make sure that my 4 fingers align into that right area. And then what I like to do is I like to keep my thumb in that cuff part. Okay, so unsterile to unsterile. My 4 fingers are still sterile, right? My 4 fingers are what's going to stay sterile. So what's going to stay sterile up against the part of the glove that's going to stay sterile. Again, I'm not going to drag that cuff over the edge. I'm going to get my fingers hooked under here. I'm going to lift, and I'm going to have those fingers pointing down toward the ground. Because if I lift this way, they're up against that cuff and semi-permeable cuff, okay? So I'm going to have them like this facing down. I go ahead and put it over my semi-permeable cuff, and now I'm going to take my sterile hands, go under this cuff, and bring this one up. And it's all safe to do that. The reason why I didn't do that in the very beginning is because this hand is unsterile, so I don't want to bring this cuff up here and risk contaminating this part of my gown.
Yep, cool.